So to get started, we're going to grab our category 4 cotton yarn, make a slip knot, grab our 5mm hook, and we're going to make a chain that's long enough to fit over our chest, but this is going to be the height, not the length. And my height is going to be 4 inches. And once we have our chain, we're going to block off that last chain that we did, chain up 1, and then we're going to prepare for we're going to do a single crochet into that loop that we blocked off, or the second loop from the hook, and then from here we're going to go ahead and put 1 single crochet into every loop that we have going back down our chain. Once we single crocheted back down our chain, we're going to do more rows of single crochet until we get the width that we want, but we're going to be working in the back loops only. So go ahead and chain up 1, flip your work, and as you can see, there's typically 2 loops that we go into. We're only going to be working into the back loop with a single crochet, and this is going to give us that ridging effect that we want. So we're going to keep doing this all the way down, once into every loop, making sure we go into the back loops only. Once we get to the end, we're going to chain up 1, flip our work, and then go back the other way, making sure that we go into the back loops again. And we're going to keep doing this until we get the width that we want, and mine is going to be a width of 18 inches. And once when we're done with our 18 inches, or whatever length that you have, this is what it should look like. This is why we did the back loops only, because we get this really pretty ridging effect. And now we're going to be working on the bottom border. So I'm not going to cut and tie. We're actually going to chain up 1, flip our work, and we're going to be doing a row of single crochet going along the length of the top. And there's not going to be any real loops for us to go into, so we're just going to have to figure it out. But making sure that we don't put too many single crochets into one section, because otherwise it'll clump up, and we don't want that. But I'll meet you once we get all the way to the other side. Once we have a row of single crochet going all the way across, now we're going to work on the chunky part of our border. The next thing that we have to do is do a row of double crocheting once into every loop that we have. So this is easy peasy. We're going to chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet. We're going to flip our work and put 1 double crochet into every loop that we have. So we have our row of double crochet for the bottom border, and we're going to do a row of double crochet, but they're going to be front and back post double crochet. So let's do this together because it can be a little confusing. Let's chain up 3, flip our work. Let's get my camera to focus. Okie dokie, camera's in focus. So we chained up 3. This counts as a double crochet. We're going to prepare for a double crochet, and instead of going into these top loops that we typically go into, we're actually going to be going in between the double crochets where this part is. So we're just going to insert our hook behind the double crochet, so behind the post, and then from here we're going to double crochet just like normal. So go ahead and yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then this is our front post double crochet, and then we're going to do a back post, which is the same thing but in the back. So we're going to prepare for a double crochet, and so before we went through this way, next we're just going to go in from behind and do the same thing. This is what it looks like from behind, this is what it looks like from the front. You're just going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. And that's what we have. Let's do each of them one more time. So prepare for a double crochet. We're going to be alternating, so this one's going to go on the front. So we're just going to slide this behind the double crochet. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. And then let's do the back post one more time. So prepare for a double crochet. We're going to go behind our double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. There we go. And then we're going to keep doing this pattern all the way down. And if this is a little bit confusing, I completely understand. Go ahead and leave a comment down below if you have any questions. So I just got done doing our first row of front and back post double crochets, but our third row for the border. As we remember, we have single crochet, double crochet, and then front and back post double crochets. And then we're going to do one more row of front and back post double crochets just to make this border a little bit more chunky. So we're going to chain up 3, flip our work, and just as an example one more time, we're going to prepare for a double crochet, go into the back post of this double crochet because that's what we did in the last row. And we're going to keep doing this all the way down, but once we get down to the bottom, make sure we don't cut and tie because we're going to be working on our back panels next. So we just got done doing the bottom border for the top, and now we're going to start working on the side panels. So how we're going to start that off is chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet. And then for the first few ones, for the first 3 loops that we have, they're going to be side double crochets. We're going to be putting 2 double crochets into each of those loops. So here's 1 and 2, and then we're going to continue doing that for the side double crochets. And then once we get to this part, we're just going to be putting 1 double crochet into every loop that we have. And once we have our first row of our side panel, if you guys need this to be a little bit thicker, you guys can keep going with more rows of double crochet, but I'm good with this, so I'm going to continue on with my row of net. So from here, we're going to chain up 5. The first 3 count as a double crochet. Flip our work, prepare for a double crochet, then we're going to count out 3 loops. So 1, 2, 3. Insert your hook into that third with a double crochet. And this is our first net, and this is going to be the first of many for our corset back tie that we're going to have. So go ahead and do this again. Chain up 2, prepare for a double crochet, count out 3 loops, 1, 2, 3. Insert your hook into that third loop with a double crochet. And then keep doing that all the way down. And then once we have our row of net, we're just going to do 1 row of single crochet along the top just to make it more sturdy. So from here, chain up 1, flip your work, and put 1 single crochet going into every single loop. Once we get to the end, go ahead and cut and tie, and we're going to do this whole sequence again on the other side. So this is what we have so far. The next thing that we have to do before we add in the straps is just do a row of single crochet going all the way across just to make it a little bit more clean. So we're going to start in one corner, insert our hook, grab our yarn, make a slip-it-in knot, and from here go ahead and put single crochets into every loop that we have. This first bit is going to be side double crochet, so you guys know the drill. Put 2 single crochets into there. And then for this part, there's not going to be any real loops, just like how there wasn't any on the bottom. So just go ahead and figure that out. Once we get to the end, go ahead and cut and tie. So this is what we have once we're done doing our top row of single crochet, and now we're going to do the straps. And as you can see, I went ahead and marked off the front and the back. And how I'm going to do that is I marked off 2 loops because we're going to be doing a chain and then single crocheting back just so that our strap is just a little bit thicker. And then in the middle, I measured out 7 inches, but this is going to be different for everyone. And then in between this strap and then where your armhole is, that is 6 inches. And then I measured all the way around and I got 15 inches, and that's how long I need to make my chain, but this is going to be different for everybody. So go ahead and put this on, measure it on you, and then you do what you have to do. But I'll just show you how to get it started. So as you can see, I went ahead and measured out these 2 loops. I'm just going to insert my hook into one of them. I'm going to take my chain, insert that onto my hook. And then I'm just going to make a chain that's long enough to reach over my shoulder. Like I said, mine is 15 inches. And then I'm going to connect to this side with a slip stitch. And then lastly, just as a super quick tip, we are going to be doing another row after the chain, so another row of single crochet. Sorry, I forgot. But how we're going to want to make sure that our single crochet row doesn't twist is that when we get here, we're going to lay the back down underneath where we're at. And then from here, we're just going to want to make sure that our chain connects in through the same loop. So as you can see, my chain is on the left side because I marked out 2 loops. So my chain is going to be here. So I'm going to mark off the left loop on this side as well. So this is what we're looking at when we have our chain. And then from here, we're just going to connect it to the back half. So like I said, we're going to fold it over just to make sure that the loop that we have in the front matches the loop that we have in the back, just so that it doesn't twist up. So as you can see, well, let's do it this way. It's maybe a little bit easier. As you can see, I marked off 2 loops in the front, and this is in the left loop. So I'm going to make sure that it goes into the left loop in the back as well. So we're going to insert our hook with a slip stitch. And then when it's connected, we can go ahead and take out this marker. And then we're going to go into the right of it, because that's where the marker was, with another slip stitch. And from here, do single crochet into every single loop that we have. And then we're going to connect it into the right side of this loop with a slip stitch, and then we can go ahead and cut and tie. And once we have that, we can do the same thing on the other side. So this is what we have for the top. The last thing that we have to do, other than weaving in all of these ends, is making a strap so that it can weave in and out of all of these beautiful corset back tie loops that we made. And I'm just going to make a regular schmegular chain of 50 inches. So to get started on the bottoms, we're going to take our same category 4 cotton yarn, make a slip knot, grab our 5mm hook, and we're going to go ahead and measure our waist, because these are going to be high-waisted, and I have one side already done. And if this looks small, don't worry about it, it stretches. But I'm going to go ahead and make a chain for this band, and mine is going to be a chain of 9 inches. Once we have our chain, we're going to block off that last chain. Chain up 3, this counts as a double crochet, prepare for a double crochet, and double crochet into that loop that we blocked off, or the 4th loop from the hook. And go ahead and double crochet once into every loop that we have, going all the way down. So we just got done doing our first row of double crochet, and for our second and third row, we're going to continue to do more front and back post double crochets, just so we get a little border on top. So in order to start that, we're going to chain up 3, flip our work, prepare for a double crochet. We're going to do a front post first, so we're going to go behind this first one and double crochet like normal. Then we're going to do a back post. So we're going to prepare for a double crochet. We're going to go behind our work, insert it behind, pull through 2, pull through 2. Then we're going to keep doing this all the way down. Once when we get down to the end, we're going to chain up 3, that counts as a double crochet, and then we're going to work our way back, making sure that our front and back posts match the ones from the last row. So this is what we have so far. This is the top band, and now we're going to start working on, I guess, the lower torso. No, that's not the torso. It's the lower body portion. But before we do that, we're going to need to measure out where the middle is, because this is going to be the middle connector. This side's going to be blunt, and then this side is going to taper in. So what I did was I found out where the middle point was. That's what this marker is for me. And then from here, I went ahead and measured out 1 inch, but not on both sides, just 1 inch in total in both directions. So this tiny piece is going to be 1 inch, and then it's going to connect to the other side. So once when we have that already marked off, then we can start working on the sides that taper in. So from here, I'm going to make a chain that comes out to 2 inches, because this is going to be high cut and high waisted. But if you don't want it high cut, or if you want to adjust it, you can make this a little bit longer, whatever you want to do. Once we have our 2 inches, we are going to block off that last chain, chain up 1. We're going to single crochet into that loop that we blocked off, or the second loop from the hook. And we're going to go all the way down our chain, putting 1 single crochet into every loop. Once we get to the end, we're going to slip stitch, but I'll show you how to do that once when we get there. Once we have our row of single crochet, now we're going to slip stitch it into the base. But as you can see, it's facing the other direction. That is no big deal. We're just going to turn our work, and then we're just going to bring it on in so that the work isn't facing the outside. We're just going to slip stitch it into the next available loop, and that's in the base. And from here, we're going to slip stitch into the next loop, and this helps us work our way up to the next row, flip our work, and we're going to be working down this row of single crochet that we just did, and we're going to do an increase of 3 on the end so that it can start to build up, so that it can make our way over to this blunt part. And from here, we're going to be working into the back loops only. So we're going to insert our hook, putting 1 single crochet into every back loop that we have, and once when we get to the end, we are going to do an increase of 3, but I'll show you how to do that once when we get there. So this is where we're at. We have 1 loop left, and we're going to do an increase of 3 like I said, and we are working in the back loops only. So instead of going in through both, we're going to continue going in through the back loop. We're going to put an increase of 3. So here's 1, 2, 3, all in the same back loop, and this is our increase. To work our way up to the next row, we're going to chain up 1, flip our work, and then we're going to be working in the back loops again, remembering that we're going to keep this increase of 3 on this side. So one more time, we're going to put 3 single crochet into this first back loop that we have, and then after that, we're going to single crochet once into every back loop, going all the way down. Once we make it to the end, we're going to slip stitch it into the base, slip stitch 1 loop up, and then continue going back down with increases on the side. And we're going to keep doing that until we get to this marker. So we've just done our back loop single crochets while increasing on one end, and we just made it to the tip of one of these markers like I said. And to show you guys how to do the middle part, it's going to be exactly the same. So this is our last loop that we're in, so we're just going to slip stitch into that one, and our next loop is the one that the marker's in, so we're going to go ahead and take out that marker, insert our hook with a slip stitch into that one, flip our work, and we're going to work our way down using the back loops only, using single crochets just like before, but we're not going to be increasing on the end so that this little chunk can be blunt. So we're going to do single crochets in the back loops only. Once when we get to the end, we're not going to increase, but I'll show you guys how to do that anyways, but I'll meet you back once when we get there. So this is where we're at so far. We went ahead and single crocheted all the way down, going in the back loops only. And we have 2 loops left, so I'm just going to single crochet into those last 2 loops. Remembering that we're not doing an increase. And from here, we're just going to chain up 1, flip our work, and then put 1 single crochet into every back loop that we have, going back down until we get to this outside marker, and then that'll be the end of the connector piece. And then once we go after that, we're going to be decreasing by 3s, but I'll show you how to do that once we get there. So this is where we're currently at. Our next loop is the very last marker that we have, so we're going to take that out. Insert our hook with a slip stitch. We're going to flip our work and then do single crochets in the back loops only, going all the way down, keeping this side blunt, but the next one we are going to do a decrease of 3. So I'll meet you back once we have that done. So we just got done doing our last blunt row, and now we're going to start decreasing. So we're going to chain up 1, flip our work, and we're still working in the back loops only, and since we did increases of 3 on this side, we're going to do decreases of 3 on this side. So if my camera would focus, there we go. We're going to insert our hook in through the first loop, going in the back loop only, and we're going to do a decrease of 3. So from here, we're going to yarn over, pull through, insert our hook into the second loop, yarn over, pull through, one more time into the third, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3-ish. Yeah, pull through 3, pull through 2, and then that is how we decrease. And from here, put 1 single crochet, making sure we're going in the back loops all the way down. Once we get to the end, you guys know, slip stitch into 1, slip stitch into the next one to work our way up, and then work our way back down. Once we get to this end, decrease by 3s, and then once when we're done with that, we're going to end right here. Go ahead and cut and tie. So this is what we should have once when we are done. We went ahead and cut and tied, and this is looking real small, I'm realizing, but it will stretch. But either way, once we're done with this, we're going to want to make a second one. I cheated and I made my second one already, and then we're going to connect it. But before we do that, we're going to want to put a single crochet border around the entire thing. So we're going to pick a corner, does not matter which one, insert our hook, grab our yarn, make a slip knot, insert that onto our hook and pull through. And then some of these are going to be side double crochets. We're just going to put 2 single crochets into there if they are. And then obviously these, put 1 single crochet into each of these loops. And then these are not real loops, but we're just going to have to figure that out from basically here all the way around until here. And then we're going to end it once we get to this side. So I've single crocheted, making a border all the way around the bottoms, and now we're going to start working on the side ties. And this is going to be the same way that we did the back. So we're going to do rows of net. So we're going to chain up 5. The first 3 count as a double crochet. Prepare for a double crochet. We're going to count out 2 loops, insert our hook into that third loop with a double crochet, and then chain 2, prepare for a double crochet, skip 2 loops, go into the third with a double crochet, and we're going to keep going until we get to the bottom of this first chain that we did. And then once we get there, we're going to do the next row. So once when we have this, we're going to chain up 1, flip our work, and just do a row of single crochet once into every loop that we have, just to keep it sturdy. Once we're done with that, we're going to cut and tie. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and then for the other set of bottoms as well. And just as a quick tip, obviously you just want to make sure that you have the same amount of loops on every side, just so you don't have any extra, stragglers around. So this is what we have so far. We are going to connect these 2 pieces in 2 seconds. But first I will say that if this isn't long enough for you, you can add rows of single crochet along the bottom, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So we're going to take one of our bottoms, and then we're going to indicate where we have our blunt section, and this is mine. So I'm going to insert my hook, make a slip knot, put that onto the hook, go ahead and pull that through, chain up 1 to secure, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet into every loop that we have. Once when we get to the end, we're going to chain up 1 and then keep going if you need. If you don't, then don't do this part. But I'm going to do just 1 row on each bottom, and then I'm going to connect it. So I'll meet you back once when I have that. Now once we have our single crochets, we're now going to connect it. And I will say that if you have a designated pretty side, we're going to put those together. I don't, so I'm just going to place them on top of each other. And I haven't cut and tied from doing the last single crochet in one of the bottoms yet, so I'm just going to keep that attached. And then I'm going to insert my hook in through the same loop but on the other bottom, and then pull through the slip stitch. And then from here we're going to connect. So we're going to make sure that our hook is going in through both loops, so through one side of the bottom and through the other side of the bottom as well. And then connect with a single crochet. And then we're going to do this all the way down. Once we get to the end, go ahead and cut and tie. And once we're done connecting, this is what we should have. And the last thing that we have to do, other than weaving in all of these ends, is making the side ties. And I'm just going to make regular chains. I'm going to make 2 of them. And the side ties are going to be about 45 inches. And this is our bikini once when we're done weaving in all of those ends. I saw something similar to this online. I think it was Urban Outfitters or Free People. I don't know, one of those expensive stores. And I fell in love with it and I wanted it right away, but I was not about to spend $150, $125 for it. So here we are. It worked out. I love this one so much more, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this piece too, or any other piece on the channel, go ahead and give this a thumbs up. It's right beneath the video. It lets YouTube and I know you're enjoying the videos, and it goes a long way to help the channel grow and gain traction. But if you didn't like it, go ahead and give this a thumbs down and leave me a comment letting me know why you didn't like it, or if you have any questions, or if you just want to say hi. I usually reply pretty quick. If you love it, do me a gigantic favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's beneath the video. It'll let you know when there's new uploads to the channel, get a bit more priority for requests, and it goes a long way to helping the channel grow so I can keep making all these great little videos for you guys. Links to the yarn and hooks will be in the description. If you buy something, that also helps out the channel. But either way, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest links will be down there too. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you guys in the next one.